Hello, welcome again. This week's Torah portion, Parshas Shlach, speaks about how Moshe Rabbeinu, sends 12 spies to the land of Israel. And they were going to go and check it out and to see what's the easiest way to capture it. Are they fortified? Are they strong? Are they weak? And so on and so forth. As we read on in the portion, we see what are the results. They came back with terrible news, saying that Israel is a terrible land, there's no way we could conquer it. And God and Moses became angered about this, how dared they come back and tell a terrible report. And as a punishment of that, the Jewish people ended up staying in the desert for 40 years. That means they were about to enter the land of Israel. They were very close to Israel. But as a result of the entire episode of the spies, their punishment was to spend 40 years in the desert before they entered the land. Now there's a question raised over here. We see that these people that Moses sent out, it says Kulam Anashim Hema, they were all righteous and holy people. So how could it be that such righteous people will make such a terrible mistake and come up with a terrible report, and then which led to the most terrible punishment in Jewish history? The answer to this is by first explaining what their whole motive was by giving this report. Their motive wasn't something you see on a simple level. Their motive was that they were out there. They had something against Israel. They didn't like Israel, and they came back with that terrible report. But this doesn't really fit with the fact that they were righteous people. A righteous person doesn't speak this way about Israel. So let's look at it from a spiritual point of view. As we said before, these people were holy and righteous people. Being so you would expect from a righteous person to be more lofty and holy. So the same was in our case with these spies, that their motive was that they did not want to go to Israel, because Israel meant for them letting go of all this spirituality which they had in the desert. What was that? In the desert, that they did not have any physical worries. All their food provisions were taken care of through the manna, the water they got from the fresh well of Miriam. Their clothes were washed through the holy clouds of glory. Their clothes actually grew with them, so they didn't have to do any shopping. Forget about all those Gaps and Banana Republics. They were all set. They had the clothes that they needed. So they were all taken care of, and they had no physical distractions. And thus they were able to be totally given over and devoted to God and spirituality. So this is why they were hesitant to going into the land of Israel. Because they knew once they entered the land of Israel, they had to involve themselves with physicality. And this is why they protested and said Israel is a terrible place, meaning to say, not that it's really terrible, Israel is a holy and beautiful land, but they were concerned that once they enter into the Holy Land, they will have to once again get involved with the physical world. And this is what scared them, and that's why they came back with the horrible news. They telling the Jewish people, if you enter in the land of Israel, you'll have all these physical distractions, and you'll not be so devoted to God as you are now. What was their mistake? This sounds very good. This is something which every person should strive to, to get more spiritual, more closer to God. Their mistake was that they did not fulfill the will of God. That means it's very good and fine. You want to be close to God, you want to become more spiritual, very good, but are you fulfilling the will of God? That's the bottom line. The will of God is to take spirituality and bring it down to this physical world. God entrusted us with a mission. The mission is to take this physical world and transform it into godliness and to spirituality. And this is what the spies were missing. They were missing the point that the whole purpose of going into Israel is to take the physical and elevate it to godliness. So their mistake was by forgetting and letting go of the physical and just totally focusing on spirituality. And this is the lesson that we must take in our day-to-day life. that one should not think, oh, my wish in life is that I could study Torah and pray all day long and not getting involved in physical. The answer is no. Get involved with the physical, but at the same time use the physicality to serve Hashem. Thank you for tuning in. Bye bye.